Voting is the most basic and I would say sacred right of our democracy. We have to push to make voting as inviting and as safe for everyone to vote.
Minneapolis is still recovering from the murder of George Floyd.
It exposed the depth of the racism that's here, that's been here forever.
The unrest in Northside Minneapolis was really bad. We were terrorized. And we felt that with this upcoming election, we didn't want to see a round two of that. We began looking into what does community safety look like and how do we get people engaged and trained in a way that they can look after their own.
Nonviolent Peace Force is an international organization that provides direct protection for people living in areas of violent conflict. We're different from organizations who do security and protection of civilians in that we don't use guns.
We started our work like we do in every other context by reaching out to community groups and neighborhood groups, asking them about their needs.
We started working on some curriculum and training for these folks inside the community so they could maintain their own safety.
We have teams that have worked in some of the most violent places in the world. Whether it is in South Sudan or South Minneapolis, engaged communities provide the foundation for true security.
Nonviolent Peace Force has bore witness to a lot of post-election and pre-election unrest and violence. And we started to see some indicators of that happening here in the States.
We could provide a group of well-trained people who could protect that right.
Nonviolent Peace Force, they brought that stability of the logistical part and also the training aspect of getting folks ready mentally to know what they were walking into.
The poll protectors really represented a wide swath of people who live in the Twin Cities. We have developed ways of providing direct protection for people using well-honed nonviolent strategies that work.
Election day was really charged with a lot of emotion.
The line's moving, people seem excited, had some music, a lot of snacks and food for folks, and just been overall a really good vibe.
The sun was out, the energy was really positive everywhere. People were excited.
We were divided up among 30 polling places. We first of all looked at the polling places that were in black neighborhoods or primarily black neighborhoods, knowing that those neighborhoods had been targeted in the past and probably would be targeted again.
I was one of the main lead captains in Northside Minneapolis. My role was to make sure that they were being supported and taken care of at each site, whether it was supplies, food, water, chairs, if somebody needed a break.
And then we had a designated line where if problems arose, we could communicate with everyone quickly.
They're just sitting in the shade over there.
Right on.
Hi, Jessica. The mobile team just got here.
My role on Election Day was to work in the command center as part of the organizer focal point team. We were there to support the volunteers with any questions they had.
It was a white male, bald head, beard, heavily tattooed. He was the driver sitting in there. They started to circle the block then at that point 3 times.
Would you mind if we stayed till your replacements got here?
Oh,
No, of course
yeah,
not.
that'd be
No.
great, yeah.
For that 7 or 8 hour shift, you are operating from a nonpartisan environment. You are not there to influence any voters.
How you doing?
Question for you. Unrelated to voting, unfortunately.
No matter which way you vote, we don't care. Just be peaceful and know you're safe doing it. That's the main point.
Basically what they did was just provided that protective presence, a welcoming presence for people to come and exercise their democratic rights.
Food trucks had been set up, people were dancing, music was going.
There were things that invited people to vote and to make them feel good about what they did. Success for us that day was seeing people easily come into the polls, have no harassment, no threat.
People coming up to us and saying, "Thank you for being here. I feel protected. I feel like I can line up and vote."
What we saw in many cases was communities coming out and protecting their polling sites.
This model of proactive and engaged community involvement in their own safety and security is a sustainable one.
One of the main things that we wanted to make sure is that we had a firm blueprint of how we're moving forward, so we could take this blueprint and move it from community to community, either here locally, nationally, or internationally.
We believe that the most important thing that we can learn in this century is how to deal with issues nonviolently.